Alrighty, so today I want to go over the Dokkan Festival exclusive TUR tier list. Now, with this specific tier list here, we have the sort of, I don't really like doing top 10s anymore with these. I just don't think that it's productive, right, to be like ranking characters like this is definitively 1, this is definitively 2, etc, etc. I think it's better to just sort of group EZAs and LRs and stuff into tiers. I'm not, obviously, it's not the most original thing. I know a lot of people are sort of transitioning over to doing that, but I'm going to be jumping into that group as well. I think that it's just easier for me to sort of explain my case, and one thing to keep in mind with this is they are not going to be ranked, right? These characters are ranked in terms of tiers, but they are not ranked individually within the tiers. So for an example, if you want to say that the Super EZAs are better than EZA Broly, I think that's completely fine, but keep in mind that is why they're just not ranked, right? So let's go ahead and get into the first tier. We have not a ton of characters to talk about in this specific tier list, because I think I have like 14 or 15 characters on here, so we can sort of look at this one a little bit more practically. It's not going to be like the free-to-play tier list where I gotta go boom, 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 and the video still was 20 minutes, right? This one I can kind of take my time with the characters and explain how I feel about them. So, the first character that we need to look up on today's list is going to be the EZA TUR 4-Int Broly. You guys see him here. Kind of move him around, give you something to look at. But with Broly, this character I think has a lot of good things going for him, but not enough to the point where he's runnable on a lot of teams, right? I think that this character in like the mid-game content to end-game content can have a very limited niche usage in terms of like fighting against pure Saiyans, fighting against hybrid Saiyans, right? On his active skill turn, he can have a decent attack stat, but sort of just the theme that I got with this character, or the vibe, is like, it just wasn't enough, right? Like, I felt with this character that they just did not do him they didn't give him the justice that he deserved, in my opinion. I think this character could have been much, much better than he ended up being, right? That's the problem with Broly. I think that overall, like, the stacking ability that he has, like, stacking capabilities are always going to be nice. Let me pull up the kit so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so the ability to greatly stack attack, and then just stack our defense by 20%. The fatal flaw with this character, for sure, like kind of right off the bat, right? Like, if you guys were here like on the night that the kit got revealed and stuff like that, once we saw that he had 20% stacks, we kind of knew that he was in trouble, right? With damage reduction, it's always nice, but this combination was definitely just not enough, right? Being category restricted, I think that led to a little bit of a problem, but overall, I think just like attack and defensive numbers can be impressive enough to the point where we could slip this character into sort of like the top 15 range of TURs in terms of EZAs. Definitely not towards the top. I think the B tier is sort of just where I want to have this character, so that is sort of where I have him right now. Now, next up on the list, we have two of the Super EZA Super Saiyan 3 characters. In my opinion, they both kind of work pretty similarly, but the one difference is Goku's super attack effect is always going to be the same compared to Gotenks, where things are going to be a little bit different, right? The main things that I want to focus on are going to be the level of ki that we have for this character. When we look at Gotenks, when he has his 11 ki, we are going to have, that is like the best effect for this Gotenks, right? He's going to have the damage reduction, and if we get the 12 ki, he's going to be getting the additional evasion chance. Now, this character can potentially run into a problem when you have characters or bosses that are throwing out AoEs, and when you get thrown with AoEs, it can be a little bit tricky. I had to use this guy for a challenge run in the, I believe it was the Sin Shenron Shadow Dragon fight, and that, if you guys don't know, that is a 2 AoE phase, and, or 2 AoE phase fight, and the second set of AoEs against physical Sin Shenron was tough, right? This character was taking like 200 to 300k, and when they didn't dodge on the AoEs and stuff like that, so definitely led to a bit of a problem. But the baseline dodge that this character has, combined with the extra dodge chance that you have after on the 12 ki, or the damage reduction that you have at the 11 ki, I think definitely kind of warrants his spot. On the special post team, this character works very well next to the other Int Gotenks and the physical banner unit Gotenks from Golden Week this year, and all in all is just a solid character. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it's going to be sort of a similar story. Impressive attack and defensive numbers, or not defensive numbers, but impressive attack numbers. Can do a decent amount of super attacks, can put up okay damage. Just all in all, a solid overall character, but nothing higher than the B tier. So, let's go ahead and move up to A, and you guys can see we have, I spoiled the S, but don't look at that one, right? We have A. This is going to be, I think, Bojack. I think I might be underrating a little bit. You could potentially maybe slide him up to S, but we'll kind of see what the S tier looks like, and then you guys can kind of make that verdict. Some of these tiers, they are a little bit tough. The issue for me with Bojack specifically is I don't know how, but I have that character at 55% on the JP account. So it's tough for me to really get like a true view of how I feel about that character. But the support that he has and the way that he works on the Slug team, I think, honestly, now that I think about it, I think I like this character in S. So I'm going to put him up there. But with A, right, if I can kind of just get this to look right, with A, right, I think Gotenks, you guys know how Gotenks works at this point, is always doing multiple supers, basically. The stun chance that he has, the dodge chance that he has. When you transform into Super Saiyan 3, you're putting up some pretty good attack stat numbers. And all in all, he just works very well on the special post team, sort of where you want to run him, and is an okay filler on the Buu Saga setup. Now, with a character like Tech Exchange Buu, this character, especially when you're an evil Buu, when you have the damage reduction, you have the dodge chance, you have the ability to seal if you can finish the fight and transform into Super Buu, this is a character that's going to work out very, very well for you. I'm a fan of how this character was designed. I like the way that he works on the Majin Power team. I think that the Worldwide Download Celebration did power creep the Majin Power team a little bit, but not to a point where I feel like they're bad or anything like that. Just, you know, this Tech Exchange Buu, I think is just really well designed for an easy ATUR, and that's why I have them up in the A tier next to this Gotenks. Now, looking at Videl, if you guys don't know, Videl can put up very impressive attack numbers and stuff like that. She can build up. She has dodge chance. She gets extra attack when she gets hit and stuff like that. You build this character up and she's going to look pretty impressive, and she works very well on the Master Roshi-led team, right? And Defenders of Justice kind of has a little bit of a buff right now, but nothing like too noteworthy, right? But like Topo being around and the new Jiren and the Banner Unit Dispo and the Easy A Jiren. Essentially what you would do is like if you just wanted to run like Defenders of Justice for some reason and float Videl and just do like a U11 core, you could do that, but then again, like why wouldn't you just run a U11 team or a Universal Survival Saga team? So that's why I have this character up here. Full Power Frieza, very similar to story to how I feel about Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Can just put up impressive numbers and works well on the teams that he belongs on. Honestly, now that I think about it, I like this character in B. I'm going to move him down. Just thinking about it, that's kind of where I think that he is. I don't think that he does anything too impressive, but can look okay. Now, looking at Kid Buu, this is another character that is just going to be an ace on the Majin Power team. The issue with him for me is that he needs to take the hits to get to that defensive prowess that you really want for him, but the support that he is bringing to the table is unmatched, right? With the Majin Power team, this guy is just going to slot right in there and do support, and we always know that if you can run him on a team where you potentially could use the other support, you can do that as well. So you have the crit chance, the damage reduction you get after getting hit a few times, and then you also have some decent attack stats to boot as well. This character is going to be so helpful for a character like Physical Buuhan. The only drawback to Physical Buuhan being linked up with this guy is you don't have Legendary Power active, so that could be a little bit of a problem, but all in all, I would say that the support more than makes up for that because these two, him and Buuhan, are also going to be sharing big bad bosses. So that is why I have this character in the A tier. Very impressive, easy ATUR, but I'm only going to be able to put them up here. So moving on to the S tier, you guys can see here we have this is where like the best of the best easy ATURs are at right now, and spoiler, the Z tier only has one character. So looking at this right here, we have the Gotenks, I don't know why I can't say the name of this character for some reason, Goten and Trunks. I think that this is like one of, if we are getting rid of super easy A's, this is still the best easy ATUR in the game. Really good offensive potential, has evasion, they're building up when they're getting hit, they have an active skill where they have guaranteed dodging, a good unit super attack effect, and they just work out really well on a team like Kamehameha, they work out on a team like Youth, they work on Super Saiyans. This character is extremely versatile, and I really like the way that they are designed. I think that the potential that they have is just stupid. It's not hard to get them into like the 30-40 million attack stat range, and as an easy ATUR that came out in 2021, I think that is pretty impressive. The same thing could be said for Kefla. I think she is really impressive as well. The way that you have her dodge chance with a certain amount of orbs when you transform her into Super Saiyan 2 and she's doing 3 to 4 supers. She's got a lot of damage going. A little bit, the biggest drawback with Kefla to me is the orb restriction that she has, but when you do get those 6 orbs and you have the guaranteed additional super, she is just going to be able to put out damage that is very impressive. Now, with Bojack, why did I slide up Bojack? I slotted up Bojack because of the Demonic Power team that you can run him on with Slug. You know, Slug is on the Demonic Power movie bosses sort of setup, and you can run this Bojack. He slots in, and he's doing support very well. Working this character in with Slug is a really good rotation, and this Easy A is just solid, right? I think that there are times where you don't want to transform with him, but the support that he's giving for a team like Space Traveling Warriors, for Demonic Power, for movie bosses, I think it's going to work out very well. Looking at the next character on this list, this is going to be Easy A STR Super Easy A Broly. This character, I say this character a lot, but Broly on the Movie Bosses team, I'm sure you guys know at this point, the support that they are providing is extremely, extremely, extremely valuable. With all the other characters running around, you just make the best characters in the game look better. They have an AoE, they're doing pretty good damage. Defensively, they can hold their own, and they're also just providing that support while they're getting the Rainbow Orb changing, or with the Rainbow Orbs, excuse me. This character is just all in all going to be working extremely well on a team that is already pretty loaded to the brim, but is a very nice filler option for a team like that, for like uncontrollable power and Movie Bosses. This character is going to slide right in perfectly. Now, to round out the S tier before we get to the last character that we want to talk about in today's video, Tech Ultimate Gohan, you guys know how he works, the stacking god, the guard god. He is a little bit better than I gave him credit for in his Ultimate Gohan form because of the just massive defensive numbers that you can get towards the end of the fight if you need it when you transform with him after getting like the 3-turn build-up or whatever that you have with him. So I definitely kind of undersold him a little bit when I was doing a ranking for him recently, but this character is very, very, very good. That's why I have him up here. The ability to do 3 to 4 supers on turn, potentially lower attack, transform, stack that defense up, permanent guard, damage reduction. This is just a really, really well-designed character. You could put him in slot 2 in a lot of scenarios, you could put him in slot 1 in a lot of scenarios, and he's going to work out just fine. Now, to round out this video, who do we have here? You guys knew who number 1 was going to be. It is going to be the TUR Super Easy 8 for Beerus. So if we pull up Beerus here, you guys can stay with me for this on the Movie Bosses setup. This is a character who can slide into like almost any team that he is on and just like defensively be damn near the best character on it, right? That is how good and how impressive this Beerus character really is. I think that they did just an outstanding job with how they set him up, right? We have the Rage mode, which is going to help us with super attacks. We have support right here, attack support, defense support when we're going to need it. We have damage reduction when HP is 30% or more, right? We have extra damage reduction when HP is 60% or more. We have guards against all attacks when we have Movie Bosses and Realm of Gods or all that fun stuff. This character just defensively, it's almost impossible to pierce through the defense that he has, especially when you're just staying at that high HP threshold. I think that this character with the Rage mode, again, if you guys don't know, a Rage mode is super important because it potentially takes away AoEs and potentially takes away supers, akin to what like a Giant Form does, right? If I'm reading into that correctly. With that, this character is just going to provide so much value beyond really like anything that we've seen with some of these TURs, right? Look at some of these teams, right? Realm of Gods fits fine on that, can work on that team, right? If we were ignoring this little bit right here, right? Or no, we do want to talk about that, right? Movie Bosses, Realm of Gods, Exploding Rage. Those are going to be his 3 big teams. It's mostly just Movie Bosses and Realm of Gods. You could consider Planetary Destruction, but that's basically Movie Bosses as well. So this character it has everything that we are looking for, right? The only sort of drawback that I think that this character has, and this isn't really a drawback by the way, is just that he's not doing as much damage as you could potentially want. But all in all, I don't think that's really the end of the world with a character like this, because characters that have this high defensive prowess are always going to be more uncommon and more valuable to most of the teams that they're on compared to team characters that do damage, because there are a ton of characters in this game that do damage, but there are not a ton of characters in this game that are just slot 1 tanks. So there we have it for the top, or the TUR, the free, I don't even know, what video are we doing? The Easy 8 TUR tier list. This is what I have right here. If you guys disagree with that, that is more than okay. Just let me know in the comment section below and tell me why as well, so that way we can have a fun discussion down below. So there you guys have it. To round out the B tier, I have Int Broly, Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and Physical Full Power Frieza. At the A tier, I have Gotenks, Exchange Buu, Videl, and Kid Buu. In the S tier, I have Goten and Trunks. I have Kefla, Bojack, Broly, and Tech Gohan. And in the Z tier, all alone, I have Beerus. So let me know down below what you guys think of this specific list. How would you change it down below? What things did I get right? What things did I get wrong? All those fun things. And if you did enjoy today's discussion, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, so that way you don't miss out on any of my Dokkan content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.